What is going on, everybody? And happy Father's Day. Welcome into a new edition of the Batter Up Podcast, sponsored by the Dugout of Millwood here on the Sports Insanity Network. Mike and Mark with you. Mark, happy Father's Day to you.
I thank you, and same to your papa, who may have a wonderful day because he deserves it.
Yeah, yeah. Shout out to all the dads out there,
Yes,
even the ones who left for a pack of cigarettes and never came back.
our Wildwood's father.
Shout out Nelson Muntz. Also, shout out to our new subscribers and welcome to the family. If you like,
Yes,
if you like the content, subscribe. We greatly appreciate it.
also would like to say thank you to all the new members we gained from our X postings. I appreciate the 53 emails that we got on the the World Cup food menu telling us how good it was. So we appreciate the comments. Even now, we actually have a follower from Vietnam.
Shout out Vietnam. I got nothing off of that.
I can't speak Vietnamese, so
I cannot either. So,
so
there
we're
you
glad to have you.
yes, thank you. So anyway, we got a lot to dive into. We were BSing off air. We'll probably dive into what we were BSing
Yes,
about at some point. But I do want to start with this because you had texted me about something you wanted to discuss, and it's funny you had mentioned it because I was considering doing an article for the site on it, and the discussion is going to be about Pride Nights in Major League Baseball. So, for those who don't know, earlier in the season, the Dodgers had a Pride Night. One of the relievers did not want to wear the hat with the rainbow. Instead, he opted to wear a regular hat. Then follow this up with about a week or so ago, the San Francisco Giants had their Pride Night, and multiple players did not want to wear the hat. One included writing a Bible verse, and there were a couple of other things. And actually, it's caught on because in the Atlantic Baseball League, I believe it was the South Maryland Blue Crabs, actually forfeited their game because nobody wanted to wear the Pride hat or jersey or however it was. Um, I'll let you start because I got a lot to process and I got a lot to think about on this one.
yeah. This is a very sensitive topic, and I went through it firsthand when I was head of operations for a single A team, and we had Pride Night. Um, Here's the thing: fans are going to show up because of it. Players should not be made if they feel uncomfortable, if they feel whatnot, not be forced to wear something that they do not want to wear, that is not part of their everyday uniform. As we can travel back to Mike right after 9/11, all the Mets and Brave players were fined for wearing NYPD, NYFD, all New York uh, companies that went and helped with the World Trade Center, and they all were fined.
And what's the rule now? Like the Mets and Yankee players can wear it during batting practice or something?
During batting practice, but during the game, it must be an MLB officially approved hat. So whether it's the camo hat, whatever, it doesn't matter. Here's the thing. You can't take away a person's thoughts and beliefs. So, and you can't force them to do something. So what was the rebellious answer? They did something that was not harsh. was not violent, but expressed themselves. And they did it by a Bible verse. To be honest, they were all different. So I don't know what each one of them pointed out to. So I'm not going to go into depth what they said. Here's the thing. Take the fine, forget about it, move on. That's what I'm going to say. Rob Schneider, you know, came out and said he's going to pay all the fines for the guys who wore the Bible verse. Just think about who I said. Rob Schneider, one of the biggest Jewish comedians in the world, is going to pay for Bible quotes on players' hats. Does this start a rhetoric where players are going to be rebellious and do this? To be honest, what is the harm unless you're pointing out an eye for an eye, which is like a violent go get, or going after Sodom and using Sodom and Gomorrah as it rained down. So yeah, those I would understand can draw a negative perspective. But the quotes, from what I understand, were not racist, were not violent of nature. It just expressed how they felt. Here's the thing, and it all boils down to what's in the contract. Take the fine, okay, and go away from it. Let it go. Because this can be made out to be a lot worse than what MLB is doing with it. I think, more personally, there should be no fine. If I'm being told, this is so much that's almost as close as me being told that I have to wear a Catholic symbol because the Pope's going to be in attendance. No offense, I'd be the first one with arms up saying no. I probably would put something in Hebrew on my hat, whatever. Take the fine. Accept the fact that, yes, okay, we broke the MLB rules of putting an unauthorized element on the hat, whatever the fine is, $1,000, whatever. Take it. Don't talk to the press on it, and just get away from it before it blows up to even more. Mike?
I have major issues with this. June is Pride Month. For those who don't know, it's all about the LGBTQ community. For one night, you have to wear a hat, a rainbow themed hat. One night. I don't want to get into religious beliefs. I don't want to get into political beefs. You're doing this for a community. You're not doing this for yourself. You're doing this to better the community because you accept people for who they are. The thing that bothers me so much about this, Mark, and again, I don't want to make it a political issue. I don't want to make it any kind of issue.
No, we're not. That's why Mike and I are keeping pretty straightforward.
There's too much hate in this world. There's too much hate. There's too much violence. There's too much of a lot of things. We use sports as an outlet from outside of what the real world is. Because the real world is a scary, scary place.
Couldn't agree more there.
Because of how scratch that. Because of organizations in sports wanting to be more accepting of the LGBTQ community, most teams decide to have a pride. I believe what happens outside of them just having to wear the rainbow hat is they sign it and it goes to auction, and the auction goes to help the LGBTQ community in that specific area. Now, if you're brought up in another country where, there's issues, that we could have that conversation. If you're an American, and again, I don't want to get into the religious aspects of it, then baseball needs to do something where, kind of like they do in hockey, where there's healthy scratches in a game. You could scratch, I think it's 3 or 4 players, however you have your roster. If a player doesn't want to perform on that particular night, you scratch them, and you don't you use your taxi squad like they did in COVID. If that player doesn't want to perform that night, guess what? You're not playing that night. Someone else who's willing to wear the hat. Because it's not about you as an individual. It's about the community. And I think there's a lot of people out there who want to use the narrative of, oh, baseball shouldn't fine him for putting the Bible verse on a hat. Well, baseball can do what baseball wants to do. I'm not going to sit here and say baseball's right. I'm not going to sit here and tell you baseball's wrong. What I'm going to tell you is this whole situation, quite frankly, is wrong. Because the organization pays your salary.
Correct.
For one night, they're asking you to do something right, not by the organization, not to go against your beliefs, but to do something for the community. And if you don't want to be a part of it, then guess what? Don't play. Don't show up to the ballpark that day. Be a healthy scratch. Do what you have to do. But the problem, Mark, for me is this. We view athletes, again, when you're a young kid, your role models are your parents.
Yep.
And usually for a boy, it's an athlete.
Agreed.
For me, I was my own role model. I was great at it. But when things come into a light in a certain way, we are using, now we shouldn't say we're taught from a young age, do what to others what you would want to do. Be good to others and they'll be good to you, basically. Treat others the right way, they'll treat you. Whether the Giant players understand this or not, you're viewed as a role model. For one night, you couldn't put aside beliefs, and instead you wanted to make this moment about you. Now, I don't know the Bible. I don't, not a religious person. That was me in the corner losing my religion. Shout out REM.
I was about to say that you took that from me. Not a sponsor. Don't worry, Pat. We got you covered there.
I mean, they're a band, so yeah. where was I going? So anyway, the mesh here of sports and politics and religious beliefs, it all comes into one, but it's so bothersome to me. And I can't speak for you because I don't know how many people in the LGBTQ community you know.
I know quite a bit, but it
Right.
doesn't matter who or how many
Right.
I know.
So same thing. How would a LGBTQ community member feel if that player? I'm just going to use a guy who's not playing anymore. I'm going to use Barry Bonds as my example here.
Okay.
Barry Bonds was the face of baseball.
Very true at one point.
If Barry Bonds refused to wear the pride cap, the media storm,
Would have been
outrageous. And he would have been viewed as, I mean, he's viewed very differently now, but he would have been viewed differently then.
agreed.
So,
Look, this is a very, very tough situation. Like it or not, this is a part of movement in America. Okay. I have a lot of friends in the community. A lot of them gained when I was running a single A operations head for a stadium here in Westchester. Made a lot of great friends through it and still talk with them today. I understand where Mike is coming from. Put your, for one day, can you just do this? It's such a touchy situation now. A decade ago, it might have been a little bit of sandpaperish. 20 years ago, there wouldn't be an argument if this was the case. Probably not. Baseball has to view its choices not by what they think is doing right, is what they know is going to be backed for the fans that are going to be coming to them. And that's why I hate to say it, a lot of Israel Pride Nights are gone from baseball this year. Okay? And that's because stadiums don't want protests. They don't want, like Mike said, a hard world outside what's supposed to be a joyous occasion. So it's not just throwing shade at one, you throw shade at one, you throw shade at the all. It's hard to say putting your beliefs aside is easy. But I like what Mike said about the healthy scratch used in hockey. That is an idea that I don't think has ever been considered, or maybe it has been, and I don't know, in baseball.
if
So maybe it's an idea to look at.
yeah, if you want to keep the
Shout out
taxis,
asshole Rob Manfred.
listen, if you want to keep the taxi squad like he did in 2020, like there's no issues with that. And those guys who don't want to play, guess what? You're gonna miss out on a game check. But that's on you. Actions have consequences, and whether you think your actions or beliefs are right or wrong, because at the end of the day, listen, if you stand up for what you believe in, you think you're going to be right. But there's a consequence. And I think for it's not just a baseball thing, it's not just a sports thing, it's a world thing.
Yep.
And I'm going to go off of the subject, of, not off the subject, but off of baseball for a minute. So just give me a second. We will get right back into baseball. We live in a world today where there's so much vengeance, hate, discrimination. There's a lot of all of that going on in our world today. We as a society need to do better. We need to accept people for who they are and what they are. And if you can't do it, that's on you. Mark has friends in the community. I have friends in the community. The fact of the matter is this: if you're going to use sports to, if you're going to use your sport as a platform for religion, politics, whatever it is, that's something that is just wrong. You could stand up for what you believe in. Mark stands up for what he believes in. I stand up for what I believe in. Roger the alien from American Dad, he stands up for what he believes in. But at the end of the day, we are all human beings. We all have emotions. We all have feelings. And if you're a professional ball player who couldn't wear a hat, listen, I don't want to get too far off subject because I'm gonna get very very angry, and that's not something you want.
No.
Anyway, yeah, I think baseball needs to figure something out, but I think more importantly, in the world, everybody, Mark, myself, everybody, you got to do some soul searching, and then you got to become a soul man.
Done best by the Blues Brothers, if I may say.
That's where I was going. Shout out the Blues Brothers. Speaking of the San Francisco Giants, the giant disaster that they are, according to multiple reports, they're open for business on some of their high-end players. That would include Rafael Devers, Willy Adames, and Matt Chapman. Devers, who they acquired from the Red Sox last year, still has 7 years and $211 million left on the contract.
Okay.
Adames, who was a big free agent signing, was the first Giant to hit 30 homers in a season since Barry Bonds last year.
Yeah, he had an irregular year last year. It was definitely a stat-based year for him.
He's got 5 and 140 left on his deal. And Matt Chapman, one of the best third basemen in baseball, 4 years at $100 million left on their contracts, respectively.
So this is exactly where I wanted to be with you on this part of the topic. Starting with San Francisco.
I mean, here's my thing on San Francisco. Obviously, they didn't expect this year to be what it's been because they were aggressive last year when they signed Adames and they made the trade for Devers.
Yep.
And now a year later, you're looking to get rid of it and basically start over because, well, you hired a college manager to be your manager.
Yeah, look, the Giants, like any other team, has been hit with injuries and whatnot and troubled pitching. All teams go through it. The Giants just more so than anybody else lately. There are two names that I like, and not to throw any shade at Willy Adames. I like Chapman and I like Devers. Devers would definitely be the Mets a great answer for the Mets third base problem. With Bo Bichette saying he's opting out. I mean, and this is not just one outlet that said he said this. This is hundreds, said he's already made up his mind. He's going to opt out no matter what. I don't think he likes playing in New York, even though he's raised his batting average almost 50 points over the last 3 weeks, and he's starting to really go on a tear. Would you just offer San Francisco Bichette for the rest of the year? You know, San Francisco fans would get some butts in the seats to see him, and bring Matt Chapman to New York to play third base. That solves your third base problem and makes it easy to trade Mark Vientos, Brett Beatty. I mean, Brett Beatty has played decently, but I'm sorry, it's not enough, Mike, and he's injured yet again.
Chapman would also solve a right-handed hitting issue the Mets have.
Exactly.
Would I do Bichette for Chapman? You know what? I think I would absolutely consider it.
It's something to look at, and David Stearns, you know, I'm going to tag you in this as I tag you in all of them. Look at the advantage you would get. You're gonna get rid of a guy who's gonna leave you anyway, and then you're gonna get 3 years control of Matt Chapman. And you're gonna have a cornerstone at third base for 4 years. 3 years. Sorry, 3 years.
You talk about one of the things Stearns always talked about during the offseason was run prevention. Matt Chapman is elite defense.
Mm-hmm. And the number he has left is a steal.
Yeah, it's not a bad number, and Steve Cohen could certainly pay the number.
Right. And even, you know, let's say he comes over, has a good first year, and next year has an amazing year, can get an extension. I mean, he's not 26 or something. I think he's 31, to be honest. But he's still got plenty of baseball left in him. Now, a lot of people will say, why didn't I say Rafael Devers for this spot? Here's my thing. Mike and I were open years back when the Rafael Devers trade rumors were surfacing. Mike and I were very open about bringing Rafael Devers to the Mets.
Yeah.
Whether Rafael Devers and the whole I want to call it a mistake with the whole first base situation in Boston. I want to call it a mistake because I don't want to call it a deliberate action. I don't want to call it a deliberate action. Good morning to our vice president who finally made it back home after everybody went home from New York and was able to get back to his home in Maryland. Welcome back, Danny.
Virginia.
Boy. Sorry, they're close together.
The DMV.
Welcome back home, Danny. Vice President Danny Boyd. Reginald, Dan Ryans, good morning.
Good morning. Sorry,
it's okay.
You're good, man. Mark, to answer your question, Chapman's 33, believe it or not.
Okay. 33. He plays like he's 30. So let's say Chapman has maybe 3-4 years left in baseball. Let him play out that contract, and you can make a decision for a year more if you need to. Why don't I? It's not that I don't want Rafael Devers. I just don't want the contract. I don't want to pay him that much and that much control. As Mike, Dan, and I have openly expressed, the age of long-term contracts has to end. The 10-year, 7, anything over 5 years has to be ended. Because it's ridiculous. If you look at players, and we know forefront, it's Shohei and Soto, but there are other players who have 10-year deals that are ridiculous. Look at Tatis. What has he done to earn this contract?
By the way, I think he's still on 1 homer for the season.
Yeah.
But
no. I don't have a problem with Rafael. I think he's a great player. It's the contract number that is too much. That's why I see Chapman as a better asset.
Well, this is where I would so take Devers. I've said for years the dude's going to win an MVP. I love the dude.
I did make mention we both said we wanted him.
Yeah,
my reasons for Chapman. That's all.
No, and you're not wrong on Chapman, right-handed hitter. Well, for the Mets at least, right-handed hitter would solve third base for a few years. Um, but 33, that kind of worries me on how it ages. Devers, I still think he's like 28 or 29 years old. I'll double check that in a second, but I would so take Devers. He's so good. Dan, we were just on the subject of the Giants and their opening for business on their stars.
Rafael Devers is 29.
First of all, what a disaster for the Giants. Investing so much money. And of course, this is what we expect people to do, right? We expect all these teams to invest all this money on these teams only to get a crapshoot back in return. Mets, Giants, all those teams, What a disaster that Rafael Devers is all of a sudden going to be on the block. Like, what? You just traded for him. You gave up a whole thing for him. Everything that you ever wanted is with the Red Sox now. And now he's on the block. It's unbelievable, man. It's so unreal that
Would you trade for Rafael Devers?
So unreal that we're at this point.
He doesn't have to. He's got Ben Rice at first base.
Yeah,
I don't want Devers. Fuck out of here.
Whoa.
Excuse my language. I know I'm not supposed to be cursing.
Dan always drops the F-bomb. It's okay.
We're gonna change Dan's name to the F-bomb.
Dan's No. We're just playing.
It is a large contract. I mean,
$200 million, and it's a lot of money.
Look, I mean, it's something that the Giants committed to. I mean, I can't fault them for it, but
to make that stark decision though a year after making that trade, I hate harping on this because I think Buster Posey was a great player, but maybe as an executive he's out of his element a little bit because he felt that team could still win.
I mean, and not to say that Buster Posey is a analytics guy because he did invest, but is it crazy to think that maybe he's a little in over his head a little bit when it comes to being in the front office?
I mean, look, you play the game. Doesn't necessarily mean you know how to run a team. And look, we've all played the game. We all can sit at our computer and play fantasy stadium owner and, be a top one. But it's very hard to run a ball club. And unless you're inside
armchair GM,
unless you're inside the organization and work your way up and learn the aspects from everything from good customer service to the final where that decimal point is going to ride on your budget for the year, you have to be able to handle all of that. And that's a lot. You take Buster Posey, who, by the way, stole that name. That rule is my rule. Just because he was famous, he got it. I was blown over 140 times. It should be the Halpern rule. Never mind. I've never let's look at one. Billy Beane played the game, left the game. He was a scout, then became a inner person with the Oakland A's, and worked his way up to GM, and look what he did. But he didn't make an instant transfer. He took his time to get up there. I think Buster Posey is taking a bite more than he can really chew right now. He needs some help. He needs a mentor, someone that can help guide him through the first couple of years.
It would have been nice if he had that, but now they threw him right in. So we'll see what the Giants do
Yeah.
up
I
until the
mean,
trade deadline, which has gotten moved to August. This year.
look, it's not surprising, but you know, uh, things always move around, I guess. I'm surprised that they want to put Chapman out there too. Like, why? Like, are you that desperate to clean? Like, there's just no way.
Yeah, it's a very interesting situation there in San Francisco. All right. We have some injury news on three Hall of Famers this week. Justin Verlander, who was supposed to actually come back today, was back on the injured list this time with a hamstring.
Mm.
Mike Trout also went on the injured list for the Angels with a hamstring, and Max Scherzer.
Yeah, I called. I said that I said he would be injured
Uh,
before the All-Star break.
for Verlander and Scherzer, as much as we love and respect them, hang them up. They've spent all year on the injured list. And Trout, look, Trout was having a renaissance year, man. And it's just a shame the Angels blow.
Hmm. And what is this? The fifth consecutive year he's going to miss more than 30 games?
I don't know the number. I could look it up, see what's going
Yeah,
on.
I mean, as far as I can remember right now, he's always missed at least a quarter of the season over the last decade almost. One of the hardest go-getters in the game. But there's got to come a time where you have to start respecting your age and say, hey, look, I can't be diving into fucking stands anymore.
Yeah, I mean, is there a way you can, full-time DH everything?
That's, I think that's
Be,
what
That's
Trout
been
should be
on the
doing.
table for him.
be a Giancarlo Stanton. You're a part-time outfielder when they need an outfielder. You can this way you can still practice, you can still do shag and fly balls, on the side and stuff. You're not going to be as sharp as you used to be, but
Right.
you know, at least you know how to play the outfield so they can throw you in if they absolutely need you. But you can't play every day because now you're risking injury. You need to be healthy for your team all year.
Trout's gonna be 35 in August.
Mhm. And truthfully, in his age, like 35, I mean, I see Barry Bonds, he's going into his early 40s. Um, like a lot of these players, the shelf life for in terms of playing the field is short, but hitting, you can go forever, man.
It's funny to think that, if when Mike said his age, it's funny to think he came in 2011.
Mm.
I mean, and here we are. It's just an amazing feat to see the fact that this one guy is just aged 15 years right in front of us and has been a blink almost.
Mm.
All right, so Mark, here's the answer to your question. Here's the games played since 2020.
Okay.
53 in 2020, obviously 60 game season. 36 in 21, 119 in 22. 2023 played 82. 24 he played 29. Last season he played 130, and this year he had played 74 up until the injury.
So, yeah, 30 games a season. It's a lot.
And this was a guy, like, if you go back to the early days, he was playing 159 games a year. He was not getting off.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
I mean, yeah, just brutal.
I mean, you're starting to rally the numbers, the 120s, the 110s, all that stuff, the 130s. Um, and then all of a sudden, 2020, like it's a problem.
Yeah. But yeah, a DH spot for Trout is let him go to Colorado. Let's see how many he'll hit there for fun.
Hmm.
1 year, Colorado.
You know what? It would make the Rockies watchable.
Yes.
So we'll see what happens there. But 3 future Hall of Famers go on the injured list. Trout probably would have been an All-Star.
Most likely.
He would have been the Angel representative.
Yeah.
There's that rule still exists. All right. So Mark, I want to talk about something you sent to me. The draft changes.
Yes.
So this is from Jeff Passan of ESPN, who reports Major League Baseball has proposed a revamped domestic amateur entry draft system. Key changes include removing high school players from the draft, allowing college players to be eligible after their sophomore year, reducing draft from 20 to 12 rounds, and slashing the bonus pool from $358.7 million to $200 million.
For all of you who don't know, this is something the MLB players have been asking for years. Was number one, the amount of rounds in MLB draft is almost like watching a hockey draft. It goes on forever.
Hockey draft is the same as football. 7 rounds, buddy. Friday night,
Yeah.
first round of the NHL draft.
Yeah, it's a tedious time to sit and watch. The MLB players have been wanting this for a while because look at when you have a family name like Holiday, every member has played, and now Ethan for the Colorado Rockies was signed out of high school. I have always said I believe to play in professional sports, you should have to have a college degree. That was always my thing. And I heard a lot of people get flack back on it and whatnot. And I dropped the rhetoric because I was sick and tired of defending it because people would always come up with stupid answers. For college players being able to be eligible after their sophomore year, this gives them the chance and gives a broader chance for a population that never really gets viewed because MLB doesn't want players in their 24, 25. They want them when they're 19, 20 so they can start grooming them into their cultural life. But this is huge for the MLB players in college draft.
You wonder how this impacts the CBA, Dan. Excuse me.
I just don't want to force people to go to college if they don't want to do that. And that's what this is doing. I get the development aspect of it, but if you're pro ready at 18 years old, and I know it's going to take a while, then you're pro ready at 18 years old. Like, you don't necessarily have to enter a draft. Is there, you got professional ball players in the Caribbean signing at 15 into all these academies and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, can you throw these 18-year-olds in the Dominican for a while into these academies? Like I just think we have to find a better way of development of these ball players. Like if we're gonna draft and sign, they can't start in our minor league systems here because some of them are really top notch, some of these players, and some of them are good, but they're never good enough. But yeah, you have all these Dominicans, all these Puerto Ricans, they're uh, going to all these different baseball academies, and they're growing up to be one of the best players in baseball. And again, not everyone makes it, obviously. There's going to be some that die out. But is there a better way? Maybe you get them into one of these academies instead of just making it for the Dominican, you make them for the Americans as well. Maybe you have a combined academy, Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, Mexicans, Cubans, especially those that defect from Cuba. Like Do something like that instead of forcing them to go to college. And nothing against the college, we just had an incredible College World Series.
Yes.
You know, Still going on in Omaha, but it's just it's stupid to want to force these kids to do something that they shouldn't have to do. Even send it to Japan. Japan is not off the table. They develop well there too. Different ideas.
I think the worst rule when it comes to college athletics and professional sports is the one and done rule in the NBA.
Mhm.
Those kids aren't fully developed. Some of them, let me be frank when I say this, some of them can't even speak into a microphone.
Mhm.
Not that they're taught to, but what I what here's the thing. When you get drafted in college as a baseball player, you are in college until you sign your pro contract and then you go into the system. So you could wait till your senior year to sign, I believe. The thing I don't really understand, and I would need someone who's more of a baseball draft expert to explain this, um, is I know if you don't sign, you get re-put into the draft at
Yeah.
certain points.
Well, yeah, I mean, teams could steal you, right?
Right. So
Right.
I don't know how this would impact something like that.
It
But
didn't specifically say so.
right. Um, I just think it's weird. I think it's a weird situation. Mark, you talked about the rounds of the draft. Okay, you want to decrease a couple of rounds. That's that's fine. But this other stuff, like we're cutting bonuses now and cutting this part out. I don't know.
Well,
It feels like it's another negotiating tactic when it comes to the CBA.
well, I think also a lot of this stems on players coming from out of country that have situations that get you in deep trouble in the United States where it might be overlooked in another country. And I'm not going to bring up the name of the player, but he's one and done. He's not going to be playing in the MLB ever again because of what he did. There's got to be some form of compromise. And what that's going to be is, and right now, this will stand probably through the next CBA. It could get a change after that. It could still get more ratification as they're working towards finishing it anyway. But this is just a starting point.
Mhm. All right, so we'll see what happens there. We also have new rules to the home run derby.
Finally.
We're going old school.
Mhm.
The derby format will be followed as this: 8 participants. The top 4 will advance to round 2. 20 swings in round 1, 15 in the final 2 rounds, and a player who homers on his last swing in any round continues until he makes an out or wins the round. The home run derby.
Finally, back to the way that I grew up watching it.
Yeah.
I understood the timing thing the first time they
Yeah.
did it to change it up.
Yeah.
But let's face it, making players swing rapidly for 3 minutes, someone is bound to get hurt. So I like it going back to it's 20 swings. You don't have to worry about time. You just take the swings you want, Dan.
No, I'm in favor of this. I had no issues with the time system at all. None. I did, of course, the first season when they brought it up, but then um I saw Todd Frazier have the home run derby of his life. So
Right.
then it changed my mind. But the time system was great. I thought, hey, look, it used to be that they took their sweet ass time getting through those 20 outs. I'm just like, enough. But no, sometimes going back old school is great too. Like,
And with it being in Philly this year and the humidity, those balls are gonna carry in that left center corner.
yeah. So, look, I'm stoked for it. I'm glad that they're going old school. I like that it's the 15 swings in the final 2 rounds, and also less participants too.
Yes.
Yeah.
One other thing, I don't know what network's carrying the Derby this year.
Things like Netflix or whatever.
Oh, is it Netflix? Oh,
It's either that or it's either that or ESPN. But ESPN, you have to keep in mind,
It's still a paid
their
channel.
their coverage of baseball is like a lot less now because of the
yeah.
new T deal.
I-
So
If it is you, ESPN, I have one request. Bring back Chris Berman,
yeah,
please.
I don't know.
One final run.
Back.
And I think it's Netflix. But whoever it is, if you bring back Chris Berman, that'd be cool. Actually,
Yeah.
Great.
you can Chris Berman can freelance on Netflix. Why not? He's
Oh.
retired. Who cares?
The Swami.
Oh, well, Chris Berman, what a legend.
One of the best football analysts I ever watched. One of the best sports analysts I ever watched. Listen to.
All right. All right. Who's someone you guys want to see in the Derby this year?
It's a tough one.
Well, one of them just went on the IL. I was so hoping he would, make an appearance. That being Mike Trout.
Yeah.
Oh, in Philly, true.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted Murakami before he got hurt.
I would say you're going to either see Schwarber or Harper
Mhm.
because you're in Philly. I would figure one of the two of them are going to do it.
Schwarber's got to do it.
I was about to say, if it's
It
anybody,
has to be Schwarber.
it would have to be Schwarber. I mean, I know Harper hit for the cycle last night, and I'm still find that cool when anybody does it. But that shot by Schwarber was a bomb. This guy is locked in, and he's not getting any younger. He's getting better with age.
Man, Schwarber's got Nick Kurtz of the A's. I would love to see Nick Kurtz get involved in the Derby.
Kurtz would be fun as a younger member. Who else? I'm just like going through teams right now. To be honest, sometimes it's hard to remember who's leading what these days when you're trying to follow your
I know he's newish, but would Chicago allow Colson Montgomery to go out there?
Oh yeah.
I mean, Jordan Alvarez would be fun.
Just throwing it out as an idea.
James Wood, who did last year.
Wood.
I mean, he's had a.
How about Ben Rice? Let this kid in.
I don't know about Ben Rice.
Here's the funny thing: we're naming basically all left-handed hitters too because of Philadelphia.
I mean, there.
I mean
one name who was off to
that
a
right field
Jordan
man.
Walker.
Who was that, Mark?
Jordan Walker, who was off to a great.
He's had a great year for the Cardinals.
So I mean, there are a lot of names they can consider, but I don't want a guy out there who's hit 2 on the whole year.
No. Yeah, you need some guys who could crank it.
Yeah, Aka. I mean, for being in Philly, yeah, Kyle Schwarber. I like the idea of Colson Montgomery, maybe even Byron Buxton, who's having a great year.
Okay. No, of course.
By the way, did you see the Buxton quote about getting traded the other day?
No, I did not.
Oh, basically he said, "F it, I'm here in Minnesota right now."
Look, sometimes you just love the BS. You just love the losing. It builds character.
Mike Trout explained that one to you.
See, now I'm going to flip the question to you, Mike. Considering we know we're in Philly, who gets the NL All-Star start?
Okay, who should it be or who will it be?
should it be? Not.
Okay,
I have a feeling I know who it's gonna be in for the wrong reason.
listen, I have nothing but respect for what Christopher Sanchez has done. It's got to be Mizorowski.
Yeah.
The dude's been unbelievable.
What was it?
He-
Point.
I want to see
9?
105 on the radar gun.
I think at 104.8 or something
Yeah,
like
what
that.
was it? What was his ERA? It's still under 1, right? Like something like that.
Yeah, he's
Jacob, 1.45 ERA with a 0.75 whip.
At one point,
and
at one point,
138 Ks already.
at one point, just like Shohei, he was like under 1 in the ERA category.
By the way, there's another guy who could be in the conversation for starting the All-Star game as a pitcher.
You know,
And by the way, congratulations to Shohei and his wife on their baby. He came out last night and hit a home run. So congratulations, Shohei.
Dodgers still lost though, Shohei.
Yeah.
All right.
but
He's another. He did the Derby one year, didn't he?
Yes.
Yes.
He was with the Angels.
Yeah, I think it was the Colorado year.
I forget, to be honest.
It was ever the year the Baltimore Oriole who had cancer batted.
Yeah. Wasn't P. Alonso involved in that?
Alonso
too?
was in that one as
And
well.
I believe Juan Soto was in that.
Oh
Derby
yes,
too.
it was Juan Soto that was involved in that.
By the
too.
way, this is why the home run derby is better than the dunk contest. The derby gets actual stars, while the dunk contest gets
It's the G
nothing.
League, G League bullshit.
Since Vince Carter, there hasn't been well. Aaron
No,
Gordon.
come on.
I'm sorry. Aaron Gordon pulled up some nice
Nah,
stuff.
But
I'm
nothing,
sorry. The best
nothing
one
since,
look,
nothing real
love
since
Jordan.
our boy.
I
Nate
know
the-
Jordan, but I love Vince. I love
No.
Vince.
The peak of the dunk contest was our boy Nate the Great,
Oh.
Bud Webb. Like, come on now.
Yeah, no, come on. Vince Carter sticking his arm through the rim and just hanging there for a few seconds. I mean, come on. Don't forget. Thank you all for watching Six Man Up this year. Dan and I will be doing a written version for the rest of the summer, but we will be back for bigger news and getting ready for next year.
Yeah, well, I mean, free agency's coming up, so.
Yep.
July 1.
Hmm.
All right, on to some series for the week. We got a first place showdown in the AL Central when the Guardians go to Chicago to play the White Sox. Who thought we would say the first place White Sox in June?
Who would think the White Sox would be better than they are right now? I had them in last place at this point.
So did a lot of people.
And again, I might say it every week. The moron who said Murakami couldn't hit anything above 90 miles an hour should be ostracized. That's why the guy did not get signed until the last minute.
And he signed a 2-year deal.
Right. So
we got the Astros going to Toronto to play the Blue Jays. Two teams looking to get right. Although
Blue Jays have
did a great comeback yesterday.
You guys have been a little stale lately.
The Mariners will go to Pittsburgh to play the Pirates.
Just saw Paul Skeens pitch last night, so they'll get to miss him.
By the way, did you see the ending of the Pirate game last night?
No, I turned it off around the 7th.
So the Pirates had the bases loaded and 2 outs and a ground ball hit to the third baseman. The runner gets called out for interference because his cleat kicked the glove of the fielder at third base.
What? Lame.
He got called for runner's interference.
Wait.
I have to see.
His cleat touched the glove. Was the ball right there and he misplayed it because of it? Or
no, what the fielder said was when he went to go field it, because the glove got kicked, he couldn't throw out the runner at first base in time.
Okay.
I have to see the play, but that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right. No, I mean, that's why I wanted to hear exactly how, because I didn't see it myself. So I wanted to see
I will find the video again. I will send it to you once we're done.
Or I'm sure we'll see it. But yeah, no, that's That's just what's the term?
It's
they
really
like to-
just bad luck.
It's an incidental contact. That's the word I want to use.
Illegal contact, 5 yards, automatic first down.
That would be fun. You could throw a flag. The pitcher must then walk up and do coach's pitch for a couple.
You got the Diamondbacks going there. Diamondbacks going to Arizona. Diamondbacks going to St. Louis to play the Cardinals.
That should be a fun matchup. Cardinals have been a surprise this year.
It's a lot of speed in that series.
Mm.
And the Braves will go to San Diego to play the Padres. Next weekend, you got the Diamondbacks going to Tampa to play the Rays.
Rays, ever since the walk-off by Aaron Judge, not necessarily great.
And they also got beat up pretty good by the Dodgers this week.
Yeah, and lost to the Nationals.
Don't
Nats are playing
watch out
pretty
for
good
this
ball.
match.
No, I'm not saying the Nationals suck. I'm just giving you the
No.
reality.
No.
The
I
Rays
know
are
the
losing
reality.
a lot of games.
They are not far away
No,
from being true.
They're an
contenders.
ace away.
no.
Yeah.
Like I'm telling you now, the Washington Nationals are playing 0-Fs baseball.
Yeah,
They do not care who talks about them. They do not care what others think of them. They're just playing their brand of baseball. And it's worked all season long.
Thank you, James.
They
Woods.
score a lot of runs.
It's incredible.
Killed a couple of my parlays.
You know, it's incredible. Like they're beating up teams that are supposed to be one of the best teams in baseball.
And then we get the next installment of Yankees Red Sox next weekend at Fenway.
Beat them up.
The Red Sox suck.
Beat them up.
Outside of Wilson Contreras, the Red Sox suck.
What a collapse.
But by the way, just to get off for a second, if you thought this was all Alex Cora's fault, you ain't watching Red Sox baseball, baby.
I mean, when you have a minor league manager running your team and players that are checked out and were checked out by the end of April, like I'm sorry, like it's a disaster. What a disgrace by the front office.
What a quiet season, but he's having a great one. Is Ceddanne Rafaela. Batting .286, 7 home runs, 32 RBIs, and 7 stolen bases. I mean, great quiet year from a guy on the Red Sox. I think this is his 3rd year too.
We get the Mariners and the Guardians next weekend. That's
what is the word on Ramirez?
Oh, he's out 4 to 6.
4 to 6. Damn.
But like they need to keep afloat if they want a chance with him coming back. But yeah, Cubs Brewers next weekend too. Cubs have faded a little bit.
Well, they dropped.
And
they were up 5-0 yesterday, and then lost 8 to 6.
6 to the Blue Jays. PCA hit for the cycle earlier this week.
PCA's been on a tear. Ever since that punishment he got for the mouthing off against the fan, he has turned it up.
Yeah, they need other guys to turn it up.
Don't disagree.
And the Dodgers will go to San Diego to play the Padres.
Dodgers are the Dodgers.
Always good to face your division.
For the Padres, like it's now or never.
I'm a little unimpressed though with the Dodgers. Not saying that they're not a great baseball team. They're one of the best out there. But like, I don't know. Sometimes they lose games that I shake my head. I'm like, why?
I agree.
Padres find a way to get Fernando Tatis going.
Yeah, I mean, it's shocking where we're at this point in the season and he barely has a home run.
I mean, I might take some blame because I own him a fantasy in a couple weeks. Jesus Christ, dude.
Like, and look, sure, he can get more run production elsewhere, but his game is the long ball. Like,
Sorry, Mike, to correct you, he has 2 home runs.
Oh, he did hit a second one.
Yeah, that's two.
but still,
Three of us
one
combined.
who on June 21st is, for someone that has power is unacceptable.
I mean, Bogarts isn't really off to a great start. Merrill has been quiet. And then Dan, your boy Miguel Andahar hasn't done anything.
Um, and Duhar can suck it.
And on that note, thanks for everyone tuning into the Batter Up podcast, sponsored by the Dugout Million here on the network. Like we said, like, comment, subscribe. Welcome to all the new subscribers.
Yes.
Dan
Love
and
new
Bill will be
subscribers.
live tomorrow with SIP.
That's the plan. And we'll probably do another morning. We had to switch around a lot of the schedule, partially because I got selfish, wanted to go to the Knicks parade. So,
I mean, how dare you
It's
take time out of your busy life
selfish.
to have
Like,
fun?
I mean, look, I'm presuming this is your first parade.
Since the Yankees. This is
Oh,
the
you did go to the Yankee one. Okay.
Yeah, this is I've been to several. I've been to the Giants, the '07 parade. Um,
86.
um, and then of course I went to the Yankees '09. This is the first parade where it was madness across the freaking I've never seen Lower Manhattan so full of sports fans in one area. I know people are upset because it was only a mile for the parade, and look, if you want to expand the parade route, I'm totally cool with that. Give more fans more opportunities. Like I'm always open to that, but I'm also okay with the Canyon Heroes and its tradition. Like
Correct.
it's not terrible. Like it is what it is. Like some people can see it, some people can't. I mean,
The last time I was at that I went to one was Mets 86. That's to show you how long ago. I didn't travel to Dallas to go see the ones in Dallas. I didn't go for the Rangers one in 94, even though I was at one of the games. Where Mike wasn't. But
The baby.
but there was a lot of me that wanted to be there to celebrate from New York. But I had the kids at home, and it's like, you know what? It wasn't a place to bring them, especially if they ended up having to go to the bathroom or whatnot. But we watched it on TV. We had a za, and I can't believe I just said za online. I had a pizza, and it was a great day. And I got to show Troy and Charlotte what the reward is when your team wins it. It took 48 years for me, 53 years for Dan's dad. By the way, happy Father's Day, Papa Ryan's.
All of them.
Yeah.
Yep.
All of that.
Even the ones who left for the pack of cigarettes. Happy Father's Day.
But it's been an interesting run. Now we need a New York Mets, New York Yankees World Series. This way, if the Yankees lose, Dan will probably put on that Mets jersey that says Dan Ryans. We won't put any play. We'll just say Dan Ryans. And he'll stand next arm in arm with me and Mike and cry the whole time.
Yeah, and get my sister involved because she's not a huge like sports person, but she grew up watching the Mets. So
we'll get your sister. Mike and I promise we will be there, and I will be on Mike's shoulders.
Yeah,
because Mike can hold me up. Mike raises me up every day.
All right.
On that note,
thanks everyone for listening. We'll talk to you next week.